Okay, today is April 22nd, 2018. And I just left church and it took me a minute to go back to church for a little bit because I every time I was coming to church, I was getting a lot of demonic attacks. I would be finding these churches that was not like worshiping God. There were people like, and I would have the dreams like right before I go to the church to see that it was like they were either in chains, in bondage. Some of them would turn into reptiles like snakes, crocodiles, just a lot of stuff. And not just because I'm Haitian that I know this, it's because I am spiritual. I believe in the Bible. It tells you a lot about, the serpents and the scorpions that is not good, and then you go in and then you hear people start speaking stuff that's not of God, or they're speaking stuff that is of God. They're quoting scriptures, but then their actions are somewhere else. So you get that iffy feeling. So it took me a minute to start going back to church. So even though I had joined another church, and I had to leave that one because I was like, you know what? It's time for me to move. Like, this is not right. Every spirit is not of God. So, and I really had to get in my word and get more training. And that's what it was, more training. And I started learning how to decipher, how to split what was of God and what was not. God was just teaching me through the spirit and put me next to people and stuff like that. So I went to church today and it was a huge struggle because it was like something was pulling me from not going to church. And I used to be so much into church going no matter what, serving God no matter what is going on. So like I said, it was a real struggle. So I get in there and I'm like, okay, I prayed. I was like, any demonic attack that's coming against me, I plead the blood of Jesus from the crown of my head to the sole of my feet, clearing, closing the entryways, some of that stuff, some people don't talk about in church, but sometimes you need to know. Some people don't need to know. Yeah, because they're not trained to that way, and if God gives you something, and you haven't prepared for it, it will be disastrous. If anybody gives you something and you're not prepared for it, it'll be disastrous. But anywho, so I go into church and the sermon was today, which I had to pray over because I prayed this morning too before I left church. It was, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Now, when I first came into this area, I had gotten around a whole bunch. It was like a lot of cults, a lot of Christian, hidden cults that was hiding behind Christianity, in this certain area. Like, this place is supposedly supposed to be dominated by Christianity, but it's a lot of people masquerade, and that's everywhere. It's a lot of people that masquerade and they act like they're Christians and they worship Satan, or they worship, they really do believe in God, but they're using altars. They're doing things like one of them has, I don't even want to, Orisha, the other gods. I don't want to, Santriga. I don't want to say all the different, like, gods, because I don't want people to start going and Googling and finding, because that's opening up stuff. But there were people who were doing that, and I was like, why am I going through this, guy? Like, I need to fight them. I will fight. Like, I am a fighter. I'm a natural born fighter. So I prayed. Like, that's what God just told me to do, is pray. And that was my fighting. That was the sword, the sword. The sword of the spirit is the word of God. And that's your flaming sword, how you fight. And I was like, why am I going through this? And another thing scared me because I was like, why don't I see this angel? When I first came into contact with this stuff, and when people were coming to visit me at night and they were astral projecting and stuff like that, I was laughing the first time. You know why? Because I've had visitation with angels before, and the difference. I thought I was nuts, but my grandmother always told me, don't talk about it because people think you're nuts. No, I see it clear, but now more and more people are talking about it. But I saw the angel, and when they came and visited me, and they was trying to tell me she better not sell anything, and they're like right in my room, in one corner at the foot of my bed, the angel was on the top of my head, right on the top, with this big flaming sword, like big, and I was like, who the hell is this that came up in my house? The angel came out of nowhere and was like, lie down. Had the sword. Like, if they was to come, like, that's all he told me was to do, was to lie back down. And I lied down, and they were still talking. These two, one was like a Babylonian, like, one looked like a dog. Like a dog. It was pointed. It had a dog nose. It was black. And it was from, I knew it's from Egypt. That's all I know. And because some of them are from different places in the world. It's like different groups, they be coming to visit. But anywho, so, and the other one was like this kind of like Egyptian, like, kind of like, it looked like a goddess with the little thing on it. Like a little cone. You know, that black and gold kind of thing with the little, that's how it was. And, no, it was a box. That's what it was. It was like, but it had the little stripes. That's what it was. It was like kind of like Nefertiti, kind of like. And, but like I said, that angel was there. So I'm like, why the hell this thing? And then I started getting scared then because I saw this angel and the sword was so flaming. I've seen that before where the angel took somebody out, like out, and they died. Like, they might not die like right then, like the same day, but I say within like less than a week, if that angel came down and like, you know, he be telling people to stop messing with me like that or leave me alone or something, and they don't listen, they just die. And they be like, oh, well, why so and so? And it'd be like, I remember an old person in my church. I know I'm drifting off. Yeah, she would come out of her body and try to mess with me, but this angel kept telling her and these other people. And that's part of what happened with my ex too, a little bit. That's a whole different story. But I thought I was tripping and dreaming. But after listening to other people, I'm like, when they started telling what was going on, I was like, that happened to me all the freaking time. Like, the angel will be telling them, no, you cannot go and touch this person. You can't go and do this. And they'll be trying to pry in anyway. And he tell them that they will die tonight. Like, they're going to die. But it be real people that be going against this angel. Like, the angel, I never seen this angel's face before. But the angel will be going and just like, they'll be trying to attack. Then all of a sudden they'll get beat up. And the angel, they'll be fighting. They'll be tussling. And they'll be fighting. And then the people will go, they'll get defeated, and some of them will die right there. That's when I know I'm not going to see them anymore. Like, or somebody who's trying to go against me, like, they calm down. And they are tired, but they give in to what I'm saying. If I'm doing something right with God, or, you know, somebody that's been antagonizing me or something, I'll see them come out like that. And it'll be in my dreams. Like, yeah. And then the angel will be right there. And then he'll, you know, but anyhow, so the sermon was, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. When I went through this whole process, I was like, what is going on? I'm going through all this stuff. But when people was telling me this person is this and this and that, I was just like, why the hell are you even telling me? Because you waited all day. First of all, if you think somebody is demonic, you're not gonna, and you think they're trying to attack somebody, you're not gonna wait until the last minute to tell this person that they're demonic or something. You're gonna tell them to stay away from them the first time. You're not gonna go and try to, wait, you know, unless you're trying to get something out of the deal. So when I went through this whole process, I had this one group of people, they're like, you know, oh yeah, blah, blah, this, but they were lying to me the whole time. Then there was another one, they was just totally demonic. When I say demonic, they was just like demonic, but I didn't need anyone to tell me anything because the angel of God showed me already in that dream I seen them people clear as day. So I didn't even worry about it. I'm like, well, if that's what they are, and greater is he that is in me than he that is of the world, and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and God lives in me, I don't care what it is. I'm going to face that thing head on. And I started doing that, and then God was telling me, pray, step back, doing certain things. I thought I was losing my mind because I didn't have control over my body or the words that came out of my mouth. One of the individuals asked me, what do you think about me? I said, I think you have a familiar spirit. I think you are a familiar spirit. And she didn't even know that God had already let me know what was going on, and I'm in spiritual warfare. It didn't matter. It didn't matter because I was tired. I was weak. I knew that I couldn't fend for myself, but I knew who was for me. And I knew that if God was for me, nobody else could be against me. So I say this, that when you come across these texts, some of these people, some of us are like crying, because I was crying too, and I was going through the stuff, and I was lost. I felt a spirit of emptiness and loss, like I did not belong somewhere, but I knew I belonged to God. Like, no matter what, I belong to God. I belong to God. And then the things that I was going through stuff that God had already shown me. Like, I was going to be watching over people. I was going to be, and I had to be in this field where nobody, I didn't have any training on in the carnal world as far as universities. Like, I didn't go for psychology. I just started going, but it's a lot of issues with that my funding didn't even come through with that whole psychology degree and all that other stuff. So I might not be able to finish it, but let me turn that down before I start cranking. Yeah, like I said, it was really grueling. A lot of people are crying. A lot of people are like, what the heck is going on? Why am I going through this? And I was like that too. Stay in that race. You can and you will finish it. If God put you through it, one of my friends used to say this: if God led you to it, he will bring you through it, okay? He will bring you through it. It is a reason, and that's what they talked about in church today, and I was so glad, because I was hesitant about going into church, because I was like, this church, I got attacked by, like, this straight-up wizard. Like, I was just like, what the heck? But then I started thinking, I was like, they everywhere. It's everywhere, you cannot hide from these people, because they're everywhere. They're in every function. That's how the devil goes. He definitely is in church, because that's where you get your relief. That's where you get your power from. So God, God created that entity that we call Satan, and he used to be an angel. So he mocks God. He didn't want to, it wasn't like he was just saying, forget God, and he hated church. No, he loved church. He loved being glorified. He loved, the whole glorification of it. He just wanted to be above God. So remember that, the devil is going to imitate. So all these people who are running and saying they ain't going to church no more, because I used to be one of those people, I had to go through this process. You just got to be selective, and you got to find out what it is, because you're bringing souls out too. It's not just the pastor. God flows, in order and everything, just like the devil. The devil imitates, so he knows the procedure of order. You know what I'm saying? So when you go in there, it doesn't mean that your pastor is the only one that's going to be bringing souls to Christ. That doesn't happen like that. God uses everyone, everything, at every moment. You see what I'm saying? So you got to remember, if you are, if God is in you, you might not even know Christ right now, but it's something that's greater in you, that believes in the greater good, that believes that you are here on this planet to serve and to help others and to make it a better place. It might not be like how I'm going through it, but you have a purpose and a mission here. God might be working through you right then. That's what you have to do. Just remember and say that I can and I will get through this. Not just, maybe, and these people are demonic. Yes, if they're demonic, yes, in order to be in the Christian realm, in this whole thing, light and darkness, you got to go against the darkness. You got to go against the darkness to prove that you light, to show that you're light. If you're not going or having a battle against darkness, that means that you are darkness. You are straight up darkness. So don't get afraid, because God is with you all the time. And he said that you can do all things through Christ, through him who strengthens you. And because he never lies, all you got to do is follow that principle. Every law, every single law in every book that you can ever imagine comes from the Bible. People try to deny that, but every law, okay? We have reign and rule over this territory that we call earth. We have dominion, not spirits, not anything like that. God let us know that. He gave us rule. He told us in the book of Genesis, we have rule over the fish, over the land, over the sea. We don't care if it's a mermaid spirit or a marine spirit or any kind of demonic entity that's crawled into somebody. You, as a physical being, as a spiritual being in a physical body, okay? You have dominion and rule over the earth, okay? Over the earth. God made it that way. He doesn't even try to bombard your life and force you to even love him. You see what I'm saying? Even though he created you, because he gave you that free will. So, but once you choose something, just stay focused. I don't want to Oh shoot, it's the fire department. I don't know. But just stay focused. Understand that if you believe it and you confess it, especially if you are a believer, you can do all things that you can and you will if you just keep focused. I mean, even if you can't even see it, just say, I can and I will. I can. Even if you haven't done it yet, I can. When I first started my business, I wrote the name of it because God gave me the name and it was called Bubble Eye Blowfish. And it was like, why did you do that? I said, because people tease me so much, I have to give back, what God has given to me. And they started laughing like, what did God give you about somebody teasing you about your lips? Hey, because I am older now. I'm young. When I was younger, I thought it was the worst thing in the world. I thought that I should die because of it, because people bullied me so freaking much. And I wanted to have surgery on how big my boobs were, on how long my legs were, how big my lips were, and my eyes. And later on, when I got older, I started getting minor league contracts. I started getting a lot of things because of it, and I was able to make a good living and doing this stuff sideways. And me making that lipstick was just not a way of, because I don't believe in the whole empowerment. I think God is the only one who gives us those tools to empower. But we are vessels, and we can come to inspire people to get empowered. Now, I do believe that. But me making that way of doing that can help somebody else believe in themselves. So, when I first did that, like I said, people were just laughing. I was just like, I can't. I didn't have anything. I became homeless again. I had all the spiritual attack, but I wrote it. It was, it say, write the vision plain. I wrote it on my wall in lipstick that I created. And I put this whole circle around it, and I put bubble-eyed blowfish. And I just wrote it all around on the wall. And, I didn't think nothing of it. I just kept saying, I can. So one of the ladies who, I discussed, with this whole spirit that was on her or whatever, that I spoke about earlier. She came and she started talking to me, and she had this lipstick. And the lipstick was it was purple and it was pink on the inside. So, how people call that ombre? We call it, dazzle lip. Dazzling lip. So, but people call it ombre, whatever. She had her lips like that, and she had 2 lipsticks that did it. And I was like, I can make that lipstick. I can make one lipstick with that, and I can make it pop where the pigments will stay on. I don't want to make one of those lipsticks where you just kiss and it's just stuck on your lips, and because it's lipstick, you want to have something that's movable, breathable on your lips. So let's have something natural, and something natural does not supposed to be staying on your lips forever. Okay, that's just crazy. But yeah, so I did that, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. Lo and behold, a whole year later, I'm traveling doing this stuff. I had so many people, I was just like, had I not, kept the faith, and I was like, greater is he that is in me than he is of the world. I can. Then I just kept saying, I will do this. Eventually I will. If I didn't have that, if I didn't go with that, none of that stuff would have never happened. I would have still been just going from job to job, flipping burgers. People would have been, dealing with people antagonizing me. I would have, where's my next move? But it didn't happen that way because I kept the faith, because I know it says ask and it shall be given. Anything you ask of God, and it's with the right intention, God will give it to you, unless it is something better. So remember that you can do anything. You can do anything, whether you believe in God or not, because the laws that God gives us is not just for the Christians. It is for the unbelievers too, so that they may believe. Okay, so that they may believe. It rains on the just as well as the unjust. His word is his word. It don't matter if you use it or not. And people always get mad like, oh, I'm a Christian, but I use this, and this person are occultist and they using that. Well, at least they know the freaking rules and the regulations of God. They know God. They know God. They know that every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that Jesus is Lord. They know who is the higher power no matter what. I don't give a care if they hate the Lord, okay? They know, because they do everything off of the Bible. They're legalistic. They know that word from front to back. When I used to date this Satanist, this dude knew the Bible. When I say he knew the Bible way weller than me. And that's what made me come to him, because I'm like, you know what? I'm not about to be outshone from somebody who freaking hate the Lord, you know, and he know all these scriptures. So it got me in my word, because it's like, you're not about to outshine me with the Lord, okay? Because God is my God and he is true. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. God reigns and he gonna rule. If I die today, guess what? God's word is still true. And I'm not about to let nobody who is against God to think that he gonna be running anything that was meant for me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, remember those laws. That it rains on the just as well as the unjust. You can do it if you believe and keep faith. You don't need 12,000 people to be behind you. I didn't have not a doggone person behind me. Even the people who I was volunteering with, they was calling me all types of stupid names, calling me all dumb and bummy, and I'm a thief, and I never stole anything from them. Like, people was against me. When I say against me, people that I knew for my whole life, they know I haven't taken a twig. You know, I'm the most happiest, vibrant person that they probably ever meet. I have so much energy. God gave me that stuff for a reason, but they turn their back on me. Long as you have God, greater is he that is in you than he that is of the world. You believe that you can and you will, and you keep that focus, it will happen. Just stay true. Continue to focus on what you need to do and believe. I don't want to rant on anymore, but that was something that I needed to get off my chest, because I believe that it's going to help somebody in the long run. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Thank you.